Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Yena Characharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti, Pujamulam Gurur Padam, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahai, Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Children, Jai Gurudev. Let's chant up to verse 22. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Dashamodhyayah. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhuya eva mahabaho, Shrinu me paramam vachaha, Yatteham priyamanaya, Vakshyami hitakamyaya, Na me vidusura ganaha, Prabhavam na maharshayah, Aham adirhi devanam, Maharshinam cha sarvashah. Yo mama jamanadim cha Veti loka maheshwaram. Asammudha samarteshu Sarva pape pramuchyate. Buddhir jnanam asammoha Kshama satyam dama shamaha. Sukham dukham bhavo bhavo Bhayam cha bhayameva cha. Ahimsa samata tushti Tapodanam yasho yashaha. Bhavanti bhava bhutanam Matta eva prithikvidha. Maharshaya sapta purve Chatvaro manavastata. Madbhava manasa jata Yesham loka ima prajaha. Etam vibhutir yogam cha Mama yo vetti tattvataha. So vikampena yogena युज्यते नात्र संशयः अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावसमन्वितः मच्चित्ता मद्गतप्राणा बोधयन्तः परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता अर्जुन उवाच परं ब्रह्म परं धाम पवित्रं परमं भवान् पुरुषं शाश्वतं दिव्यम् आदिदेवमजं विभुम् आहुस्त्वामृषयः सर्वे देवर्षिर्नारदस्तथा असितो देवलो व्यास स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे सर्वमेतद्ऋतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवान् दानवः स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्थत्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावनभूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते वक्तुमर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्या ह्यात्मा विभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमान् स्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि कथं विद्यामहं योगिं त्वां सदा परिचिन्तयन् केषु केषु च भावेषु चिन्त्योऽसि भगवन्मया विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूय कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम् श्रीभगवानुवाच हन्त ते कथयिष्यामि दिव्या ह्यात्मा विभूतयः प्राधान्यतः कुरु श्रेष्ठ नास्त्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे अहम् आत्मा गुडाकेश सर्वभूताशयस्थितः अहम् आदिश्च मध्यं च भूतानामन्त एव च आदित्यानामहं विष्णु ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि वेदानां सामवेदोऽस्मि देवानाम् अस्मि वासवः इन्द्रियाणां मनश्चास्मि भूतानाम् अस्मि चेतना. Om Tat Sat. Welcome everyone to the center as well as on Zoom. We have completed 18 verses, right? 18. So, anything you remember up to now in the 10th Adhyay up to the 18th verse? Anything that has caught your interest that you remember, that touched you? Anything? Yeah?
Bhagwan is saying you come, I'm waiting.
Bhagwan is waiting, absolutely. He is telling you to come. He's giving some clues also of how to come. Yeah?
Arjun had his aha moment.
Arjun had his aha moment, correct? Correct?
Arjun yet wants to know from Bhagwan how to reach to your divinity, and he says this is ever listening from you, it's very satisfactory.
I will never feel satisfied listening to you. Tell me more about how I can reach you. Yes?
First qualification of Shishya is Shraddha.
First qualification for a Shishya should be Shraddha. Okay?
Arjun Samarpan.
Arjun Samarpan, how?
He is accepting him as more as a guru than as a friend.
So more than a guru also, he is seeing him as God. He is seeing, for the first time, he is seeing Bhagwan Krishna as Bhagwan. Yeah.
When we experience connection with Bhagwan, it's Bhagwan's vibhuti being manifested.
So we can experience Bhagwan through his vibhutis. All Bhagwan's manifestations are called his vibhutis, his glories. And that's the way we can connect. Very nice. Yeah?
Through Nam Jap, you can learn to become focused.
Through Nam Jap you can focus, yes?
I take a similar point that Nam Jap is Ekagrata plus Shuddhata. So I shouldn't focus on Coke, which was taught by some other, I think, Guruji.
Focus on? Cook?
Coca-Cola was one example.
Oh, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, compared to.
Yeah. Nam Jap is good for Shuddhata as well as Ekagrata. Okay?
Arjun asked God for protection from ignorance.
He's asking for protection from ignorance. Okay? Anything else? Very nice. So when we ended with two questions or two requests from Arjun. What were those two requests?
How to meditate, and when you are not meditating, what should you think about?
In a slightly more detailed way, we can say, when I'm meditating, what should I be focusing on? What is that object? What is that anchor which will help me to stay connected during my meditation? Because we are meditating on Bhagwan. Bhagwan is so intangible, so abstract. So what meditate on Bhagwan means what? What should I meditate on? So I need to have some anchor. I need to have some support. So when I'm meditating, what should I be thinking of? And the second question?
How should
If
I
I am not
interact with
meditating,
God?
what I should be thinking?
When I'm out in the world, when I'm not meditating, I'm walking around, I'm doing my stuff, then how should I stay connected with you? What will remind me of you when I am not in my meditation? So those were the two questions that Arjun asked Bhagwan, and today Bhagwan is going to give the reply for that. Okay? So let us go to verse number 19 now, and let's read it once. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Hantate Kathayishyami Devyayatma Vibhutayaha Pradhanyata Kuru Shrestha Nastyanto Vistarasya Me. Translation. Shri Bhagavan said, Arjun, now I shall tell you my prominent divine glories, for there is no limit to my manifestations. Take the meanings first. The first word is Hanta, and really it has no meaning. It's an exclamation. Okay, and I'll try to explain the exclamation a little later, but you can leave a blank over there. Hanta is like an exclamation. Katha Yeshyami, I shall tell you. Atma, my. Divya Vibhutaya, divine glories. I shall tell you my divine glories. Pradhanyatah, in accordance to their importance. He, for, because, Nastyanto, there is no anta, there is no limit. Vistarasya me, to my manifestations. There is no limit to my manifestations. Kuru Shrestha Arjun. Kuru Shrestha, best of Kurus. So when Arjun asked the question, tell me about your glories, tell me about your powers, he added one clause there. Who remembers that? Vistarena. Tell me in detail. Okay, don't tell me in brief, don't tell me point wise, don't give me bullet points. Tell me in detail. So that is why he's saying there is no end. There is no end to my manifestations. If I go on telling in detail, this whole Kurukshetra war also will be over. Okay, so that is why he is saying there is no limit. I will tell you in accordance to their importance. Now let's go to that word hanta. Okay, hanta. It's like how we use acha. And it has many meanings. So you can say, ये पेन कैसा है? अच्छा है. It's good. Or you can say, अच्छा? Really? Acha! Amazement. So this hanta also is like that. You can use it as wow. Bhagwan is saying, wow, you want to know in detail? Or Bhagwan is saying, really, you want to know in detail? Or he is saying, alas, I cannot tell you in detail. So you can take it whichever way you want. But it's an exclamation because maybe Bhagwan is also surprised. You're wanting to know all my glories and all my powers. So the first thing that comes out of Bhagwan's mouth is hanta. Acha. Okay, like that. So Bhagwan also can exclaim from time to time. What Bhagwan says, Nastyanto vistarasya me, there is no limit to my manifestations. If I try to tell you everything where you will find me, it will be infinite, it will be endless. And that is exactly what Advait Vedanta is saying, isn't it? Advait Vedanta tells us everything in the universe is a manifestation of Brahma. Sarva Khalvidam Brahma. Now where everything he is going to tell, this is also me, this is also me, this is also me, this is also me. So that's why he is saying, Hanta, forget it, like almost, I cannot do that. Now we refer to Bhagwan Brahma when we talk about Brahma, though we cannot have any concept of Brahma, because he is beyond space. What else? He is beyond time. What else? What else? It is eternal. What else? Imperishable. No form. There is no form. And cannot be perceived by any senses. Timeless. Never born. Never dying. Nirakar, Nirgun, everything. Then he cannot be cut by the sword. Cannot be wet by the water. Remember all that? Cannot be dried by the wind. All that is correct. If that all is correct, then it's very difficult to understand that everything is Brahma. How this is got a form, this is time in space, this is in time, this has got a guna. If Brahma has none of these things, then how can Brahma be all these things? Anyone would imagine that, right? So it's difficult to be able to grasp that concept that everything is Brahma, because this we see, but you are saying Brahma we can't see, then There seems to be some mistake in your thought process, alright? So Bhagavan has already declared in this very chapter, in verse 8 if you'll see, I am the source of everything. He has already told Arjuna that I am the source of everything, but it is just that our minds or the equipment with which we are trying to understand the world is so limited that we cannot see beyond a certain range of form, or we cannot see beyond a certain, we cannot hear beyond a certain range of sound, we cannot perceive things beyond a certain range, and Brahma is beyond that range. But through my manifestations, you will be able to experience me. So that is why Bhagavan is saying that I will tell you my manifestations. So till that time that we cannot understand this concept of Sarva Khalvidam Brahma, we need something to be able to continue our journey. Otherwise our journey will stop there, because it is not possible. This can't be Brahma, this can't be Brahma, this can't be Brahma, not possible. So we need faith. So with the help of faith, we accept what we cannot understand as our own limitation, rather than something that the Shastras are saying wrong. So that kind of faith is required till we experience this truth ourselves. So Bhagavan says there is no limit, so I will tell you only my prominent pradhanyatam, my prominent divine glories. So how will these vibhutis, these prominent divine glories, how is that going to help us? Some places, as we discussed earlier, some vibhutis, some places have got magnetic power, some very powerful vibrations that you feel a connection automatically. Yes or no? We have already discussed that. So if you, and last time, remember you asked me, Anil, that how are we to be aware that there is something? So by knowing in advance that certain things are the prominent vibhutis, we will first become aware. Otherwise, for example, if you go to certain places, some people will immediately connect there, and for some people it will be a picnic spot. So they are not aware of the potency or the vibrations or the energy of that place. So for them it will be, chalo hum log Kedarnath aaya or fafda khayega, jalebi khayega. So it will be just another picnic for them. But some people will feel that energy. Some people will feel. So first and foremost, Bhagavan is making you aware that these are the places, if you are sensitive enough, you will definitely find a connection to the divine. So the first thing is making it easy to be aware. After being aware, then only you will be able to connect. And only after you will be able to connect will you be able to worship. So these are the three stages of help that the vibhutis are giving us. Making us aware, helping us to connect, and then allowing us to worship that which we are connected to. So Bhagavan is saying, I am there everywhere, but some places you will experience me more easily than in other places. Clear? So last time also when I taught you all this Adhyay, I did one demo and I brought that same demo again today also. Let's see. So we have got 3 things here. I'll need some volunteers also. Kharia, you want to come? And Vedika. And Jaina. Alright, we have got I brought some things for you all to taste. Have a bite? Can you? Come in front. Come in. What is this?
Raw rice.
Raw rice. Don't want to eat it? Okay. I'm not forced. What about this?
Steamed rice.
Steamed rice. Can you have it? Would you have it?
Yes.
Yes. No problem. What about this?
Rice with curd.
No.
Kheer.
Kheer. Which one will you choose?
Kheer.
All are rice. All are rice. But you are attracted to
Kheer.
kheer. So in kheer there is vibhuti of rice. It's a special manifestation, a special appearance of rice. Rice is in everything. But you discard this one. कौन खाएगा पेट में दुखेगा. ये boiled rice. Forget it. Huh? Too plain. Not attracting. But kheer, yes, go ahead, have a bite. Go ahead. You deserve it. Go ahead. First tell if it's good or not. Is it a good manifestation or not?
Yes.
Yes? Agreed?
Yes.
We are also getting the fragrance.
You have any doubt? You want this one?
You have no faith.
No faith? Thank you so much. Give them a big hand. All were rice, but we are attracted to the one which has the power to attract us. And that is the vibhutis that Bhagavan is going to talk today will attract us. We will not have to do anything. If we are clear enough, if we are at least of the bent of mind to find Bhagavan, then that magnet will only pull us towards it. Alright, so let's go ahead and see Bhagavan's kheer manifestations, okay? The special manifestations of Bhagavan, like in the kheer form. Is this coming in the way? Okay. Number 20. I can put it here. People are getting attracted to it. Let's read 20. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashayastitaha Aham Adishya Madhyam Cha Bhutanamanta Eva Cha. Arjun, I am the universal self seated in the hearts of all beings. So I alone am the beginning, the middle, and also the end of all things. Take the meanings. Here the name Arjun is Gudakesha. Aham, I am. Atma, the universal self. Sthita, seated, established. Ashaya, in the hearts of. Sarva, all. Bhuta, beings. Aham eva, I alone am. Adi, the beginning. Madhyam, the middle. Cha, and. Anta, end. Bhutanam, of all beings. One big declaration is happening, and some people even say that this is the key shloka of the Gita. because Bhagavan is declaring unequivocally, I am the Atma. Gudakesha, a very apt name chosen by Bhagavan for Arjun, literally meaning conqueror of sleep. Isha is the controller, the conqueror, like Ishwar. And Gudaka is sleep. Gudaka means sleep, the one who has conquered sleep. So what does it mean here? Why is it apt for this shloka? Sleep is symbolic of tamas, or darkness, or ignorance. So when Arjun was doing tapasya, he did a lot of very austere tapasya, standing on one leg and all that, so he could get that Pashupati Astra from Shiv Bhagavan. At that time he stood on one leg, hardly eating anything, and at some stage he gave up eating also. So Arjun is known for very harsh tapasya. So Bhagavan is saying, yes, you have conquered the sleep, because when you're standing you cannot sleep, so for so long you conquered the sleep. You conquered the material sleep, the physical sleep. Now Gudakesh, you have to conquer your spiritual sleep. You have to conquer your ignorance, your tamas, that is your spiritual sleep. Secondly, he is using this now because suddenly he is seeing one spurt of spiritual enthusiasm and spiritual knowledge in Arjun. For the first time he is saying Param Brahma, Param Dhama, remember last time. So now he is spiritually matured little bit, and Bhagavan is saying now it's the time you just conquer your ignorance, because you have made that slight penetration into the ignorance by seeing me as Bhagavan itself. Now is the time you follow my Upadesh and you can conquer your ignorance perfectly. Also, as we discussed, his keenness to know, tell me more, I am never satiated by your knowledge, by your words. His humility by saying, I don't want to pretend as if I know more than the gods and the danas. Remember? Kesari. And his humility, all those things, all these qualities which have come out from Arjun in the last few shlokas makes Bhagavan convinced that now Arjun is ready to get the highest knowledge. So it's a wake-up call. Now this is a wake-up call for Arjun from Bhagavan. Don't let your sleep, your spiritual sleep continue. You have to conquer it. So he gives the first vibhuti here. Of course, he has given many vibhutis earlier also. 46 vibhutis we have gone through already. So now the most important one, the best vibhuti, the highest vibhuti, the message is loud and clear. What is that message? I am the universal self seated in the hearts of all beings. There is no doubt here, there is no mysticism, it's a clear factual declaration. The greatest manifestation of Bhagavan, the greatest vibhuti is our own self. This is the greatest vibhuti. We are all carrying that. At least at this time, I'm not going as far as saying you are that. I'm saying one step before that. You are carrying that vibhuti inside you. And yet, we are going here and there, everywhere, to look for that vibhuti. Bhagavan is saying, I am there, right there inside you. And that is why it explains this sentence once again, Jivo Brahmay Na Para. Okay? Some people even say, learn this sentence as a Mahavakya. Use this sentence as a Mahavakya. Because if you go on contemplating on that, you will create that Brahm Akar Vritti in you. And Bhagavan has not sprung this knowledge on Arjun suddenly. From the 7th Adhyay onwards, Bhagavan has been giving him clues. Fix your mind on me, worship me, be with me. So many times. Chapter 7, the very first shlok and the very last shlok. The middle one is all explanation of that. First shlok and 30th shlok, 7th chapter. 8th chapters, 1, 2, 3, 4 shlokas are there. Fix your mind on me, be single pointedly on me, look at me, worship me, be constantly with me. Again and again. 7, 8, 9, now in 10 he is declaring it perfectly. This self which you are seeing outside as Brahma, somewhere maybe outside, somewhere which is eternal, which is never changing, which is never born, which will never die, this self is the same self as that which you are seeking and trying to find. The only problem is you are looking in the wrong direction. That's it. That is what Bhagavan is trying to say. And this is very important for us to just get it. Just get it once and for all. Otherwise, you will keep looking here and there everywhere and you are never going to find it outside of yourself. Never. Okay, so this has to be understood. As seekers, at least you should know where to seek. So to drive that point home, Bhagavan also says, Aham Adishcha Madhyamcha Bhutana Manta Evacha. I am the beginning, I am the middle, and I am the end of all beings. This self, this Atma, which Bhagavan says he is, has always existed. Right? Now he's saying he is within each one of us. Before we were even conceived, this Atma existed or not? Yes. When we were a fetus in the mother's womb, the Atma was there or not? Yes. When it was born, when the child was born, Atma was there. When the child grew up and became adult, Atma is there. When the adult dies, Atma is there. Atma was never born and never dies, and the Advaitic concept is that which never dies, that which never changes, that which is in the beginning and that which is in the end. If it is the same, then the middle is also the same. So if the Atma existed before you were born and the Atma exists after you are dead, then in the middle also it is Atma only. The part which goes on changing, the part which goes on decaying, the part which goes on growing more or less, that is the dependent reality, or that is the mithya, that is not the true self. Because the definition of truth is that which always will exist. So, to give a more concrete example, the Vedanta, I don't know whether Vedanta does it, but the teachers of Vedanta use it. So you have a screen. The screen, we put it down when we want to see the movie. Then we put the movie on. When the movie finishes, the screen goes back up. The screen was there before the movie started. The screen is there during the movie. The screen will be there after the movie finishes. We are not looking at the screen, but we are looking at the moving pictures on the screen. The moving pictures are just images. They are not reality. The screen always exists. So in comparison, we can say Atma is like the screen and this body, mind, intellect is like the moving pictures on the screen. So now Bhagavan is telling us, I am that universal self within each one of you, in everyone. Now let's go back to Arjun's two questions. What were those two questions? What should I meditate on when what should I think of when I'm sitting in meditation? And what should I be thinking of? How shall I connect with you when I'm walking around? Now, this answer of Bhagwan's answers both the questions. Because if I'm sitting in meditation, just focus on the self. That is how you will connect with me. And when I'm not sitting in meditation, I'm all over the world. There also the self is with you only. So whether you are sitting in meditation or you are walking around and doing your work, self is with you only. So at any given time, you can connect with me. That is the point that Bhagwan wants to make over here. Whether I'm busy in one place or busy in 2 places or busy in 10 places, wherever I'm going, the self is with me only. But what if I'm so busy that I can't connect with myself? Isn't that the question in your mind? I have to look at this, I have to do this, I have to do that. How I will connect? Acha, Hanta. That time you find it difficult. ठीक है. I will give you some 40 more vibhutis, which you will see in the outside world. When you will see those vibhutis, connect with me. So if you can connect with the self, even when you are in the outside world doing your work, do it that way. But you are finding it difficult. You are very busy. You have too much stimulus. You have too many things to do. You know, Mukund will say, no, I am operating on his kidney, where I will connect with the self. In that kidney you see the vibhuti. So like that you can see the vibhuti wherever you look, because there is nothing other than Bhagwan. That patient is your Bhagwan over there. So now in the 19 shlokas which follow, in every shloka almost 3 to 4 vibhutis Bhagwan is going to give us, something like, if I am not mistaken, last time I had counted 70 vibhutis. In other words, there are almost 70 to 100 ways of connecting with Bhagwan. Now you have no excuse. Now you have no excuse. Wherever you look, you should be reminded of these vibhutis. So, and you will see that there is no time of the day and there is no place in the universe where Bhagwan's vibhuti is not there. Whether it is day or night, whether it is earth or swarga, in all the places there is vibhuti of Bhagwan. Therefore Bhagwan says, Arjun, Budakesh, you have conquered your physical sleep. Now connect with me and conquer your spiritual tamas. So let's see what all these Bhagwan's vibhutis where we can connect so easily. So it's very good now, everyone can get enlightened. Let's go to 21. Adidyanam aham Vishnu Jyotisham Raviransuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam aham Shashi. I am Vishnu among the 12 sons of Aditi and the radiant sun among the luminaries. I am the glow of the Maruts, the 49 wind gods, and the moon, the lord of the stars. Very nice. Now these verses are very beautiful. Not philosophically anything to be explained, but interesting to know how beautifully Bhagwan has manifested himself in so many different objects, literally, vishais of the world. Take the meaning. Adityanam, among the 12 sons of Aditi. Aham, I am. Vishnu. Don't get confused with Bhagwan Vishnu, Okay, I will explain what Vishnu this is. Jyotisham, among the luminaries, Anshuman, the radiant Ravi, sun. Marutam, among the Maruts, Aham, I am. Marichi, it's a name. They've called it the globe. And Nakshatranam, among the stars, among the nakshatras, Aham, I am. Shashi, the moon. So now if you cannot, you're not still ready to connect with the self, whether you're working outside or even if you are sitting in meditation and you are not able to connect with the self, here are the other ways with which you can connect with Bhagavan. Among the 12 sons of Aditi, I am. Vishnu is the first manifestation of this shloka. Let me explain. There was one Rishi called Kashyap, Rishi Kashyap. He is the grandsire of the whole universe because I don't know how many children he has produced. And because he married some 13 wives or something. Among those 13 wives, there was Aditi and Diti. The children with Aditi were these 12 sons. The 12 sons born out of Aditi became Devtas. And the sons born out of Diti became Daityas, not so virtuous. So the 12 sons born of Aditi were called Aditya. And from this Aditya, one of them is called Vishnu. Now they represent, these 12 Adityas represent different aspects of the sun. And they are also 12 months of the year. So Vishnu is one of the months also. It comes sometime in the English calendar between October and November. This is a Vedic name. After that now we have got different names. But in the Vedic names, it was Vishnu for October, November. So this is an aspect of the sun. So what aspect of the sun is Vishnu? The aspect of the sun in Vishnu is that he destroys all the adversaries of God. The one who destroys the enemies of God. So when you want to see my manifestation and you are seeing the sun as the destroyer of the enemies of God, then you can connect with me. So what aspect of sun destroys the enemies of God?
Light.
Radiance.
What is the enemy?
Darkness.
Darkness, tamas. So whenever there is sun which is destroying your tamas, then know that that light which is destroying the tamas is Bhagwan's strong manifestation. And that is why we do Surya Argha every morning. In the Rig Veda, they actually worship the sun as the supreme power. There are two quotes there which I found out. One is, the sun is the soul of all that moves and all that is stationary. It is the soul of all that moves. They actually worship the sun as Brahma. They said, Surya Pratyaksha Devta. Surya Pratyaksha Devta. Surya is the visible God. So, in other words, he's saying, you want to worship me? Worship that part of the sun which destroys tamas. So that is our first vibhuti. Easy? You have to search very hard for that. Every morning you are seeing the sun, but we take it for granted. Sun is there, okay. And sometimes we curse it also, so hot. Huh? So it's now what happens with these vibhutis, you will start looking at the world maybe with a different light, a different perspective. Something, there is some glory in this beautiful world, and it's all a manifestation of His absolute power. Then the second one is the radiant sun among the luminaries. So we said that there are 12 aspects of sun. So this is another aspect of the sun itself. Luminaries means all the celestial bodies that have light. Although moon doesn't have light of its own, it gives light, reflected light. So moon, sun, stars, among all those, I am Anshuman. I am that aspect of the sun which is called Anshuman. This aspect of the sun manifests in the wind. Some sort of feeling of heat which comes through wind. You can loo. You go to Delhi in the summer, you will experience Amshua. Because in that wind the heat comes, right? So whenever you experience that heat coming through the wind, know it's a vibhuti of Bhagwan. That way. The third one is, they call it the glow of the Maruts. Now what is Maruts? That's another nice story. So as I said, Rishi Kashyap married Diti, one of sister of Aditi actually. They are all sisters, he married all sisters. Now, you know who else was a son of Diti? Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So they were also sons of Diti. Now, Indra wanted to defeat Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Why? Because they wanted to usurp heaven. They wanted to capture heaven. So Indra got insecure. So he wanted to destroy them. So whose help he took? Bhagwan Vishnu's help. He took Bhagwan Vishnu's help, and that's how Narasimha and Prahlad ka story comes. So because Indra wanted to destroy and did destroy her sons, she wanted to take revenge. So she told her husband Kashyap, now I want one son to be born who can destroy Indra, because Indra got killed my two sons. So Rishi Kashyap was maybe a little bit weak, so so he agreed. There are some conditions and all that. I don't know all the details of their conversation, but Indra got to hear that Diti is carrying one fetus. If it will be born, it will destroy. So you know Indra's weapon is Vajra. So with some magical powers, he entered her womb and cut the fetus into 7 parts. The fetuses started crying. That's the story. Fetuses started crying. So to destroy them further, each of the 7 he cut into 7 more pieces. So 7 sevens are 49. So these are the 49 wind gods which eventually got born, but they, although born from Diti and were actually Daityas, they had some fierceness. They were fierce, but they were good. They didn't do bad. They were good wind gods. Okay. And the the most powerful of all of them was called Marichi. So I am the Marichi, I manifest myself in Marichi of the 49 wind gods, Maruts. The story also goes something when the fetuses were crying inside, Indra said, Maruta, Maruta, don't cry, and that's how they got the name Maruti. Okay, it's interesting. But these are. I'll tell you one more interesting thing. Why is it that Aditi's sons became Devtas and Diti's sons became Daityas? Who knows the answer to that? The story goes that Diti was feeling a little frisky and she wanted to be with Rishi Kashyap immediately. Rishi Kashyap was doing Sandhya at that time, and at Sandhya time it's a very holy time, a very pious time where you have to do your Sandhya Vandana. You are supposed to do your prescribed prayer at that time, process. But she insisted, you come right now with me and I want to be with you. He said, this is not a good time, and if we have any relationship now, it will result in offspring which is not going to be auspicious. But she would not listen and she insisted, and that is why the children of Diti were born Daitya, because they were conceived at a time which was meant for sadhana, but instead of sadhana they had a sexual relationship. So that is why one sister's children became Devta and the other one became Daitya. So I am Marichi of the 49 wind gods. And then Nakshatranamaham Shashi. Among the stars, I am the moon. But the moon is not a star, but it is an object which gives light in the night. So at night the sky is filled with stars, and the stars don't give that much light as the moon gives. So he says, especially on full moon night, it is so brilliant. Purnima, we always celebrate on Purnima night. So remember how we all spent the night on your terrace, all of us, and we brought our kheer on Sharad Purnima. We brought kheer and we put it under the moonlight, and then we all slept on the terrace, and then we ate it in the morning. So Bhagwan says, if you are in tune, then you will experience that nectar. It says the moon showers nectar on Sharad Purnima. So if you are attuned to that, if you are aware of that, if you have faith in that, most important is, somebody will say, kya nonsense hai, or what shower, nectar. Then forget it, you will not experience it. But you say, okay, why not believe it? Then Bhagwan is saying, let me believe it. If you will believe it, you will benefit from it. You will not believe it, then it's okay. You don't have to believe and you don't have to benefit. So that is what it says. And many times people will have meditation on full moon night. There is a full moon night meditation. There must be a reason for that, because there is some special magnetism, there is some special energy which one feels on the full moon night. Bhagwan says, that is my vibhuti. You can connect with me that way. So therefore, 4 vibhutis are there in this. If you cannot focus on the self, if you cannot go within yourself, if you cannot stay focused in ekagrata in your own self, during the day, look at the sun. During the night, look at the moon. If the wind is blowing, feel me in the wind. Wherever you are, at any time, I am there with you. I am there with you. And that is basically the truth. That is basically the truth. If you cannot feel Bhagwan inside you, then there are so many ways to connect with Bhagwan. So that was number 21. We'll do just one more and then we will stop for today. Number 22. Vedanam samavedosmi devanam asmi vasavaha indriyanam manaschasmi bhutanam asmi chetana. Among the Vedas, I am the Samved. Among the gods, I am Indra. Among the organs of perception, that is the senses, I am the mind. And I am consciousness, life energy in living beings. Take the meanings. Vedanam, among the Vedas. Aham, I am. Samved. That's the name of the Veda. Devanam, among the gods. Aham, I am. Vasava. Vasava is a name of Indra. It's another name of Indradev. Indriyanam, among the Indriyas, organs of perception or sense organs. Aham, I am. Mana, the mind. And Bhutanam, among all living beings. Aham, I am. Chetana, consciousness, intelligence. So 4 vibhutis in the previous shloka and 4 more in this shloka. Vedanam Sama Vedosme. Among all the Vedas, I am the Sam Ved. You know the names of the 4 Vedas? Rig, Ved, then Yajur Ved, Sam Ved, Atharva Ved. Okay? What is the meaning of Ved? Knowledge. Knowledge. From the word Vid, to know. Vid means to know. From that Veda. And you know that the ultimate proof that this knowledge is correct is the Vedas. Not Bhagavad Gita. The ultimate proof of all knowledge is Vedas. Okay? Just a little bit of factual information because it's good to know. Each Veda is divided into 4 sections. One section is called Samahita, which gives the mantras. All the mantras are in the first part. The second part is called Brahmana. Brahmana gives the rituals, the commentary of how to do, the vidhis of all the yagnas and all that. The Aranyak, they call Aranya as forest texts. So some things about Vanaprastha, nature, and Upanishads, which is the philosophy of Vedanta. So from all these 4 Vedas, I am Samaved. The most you will feel my presence, not in Rig Ved where the mantras are there, not in Yajur Ved, which is a kind of a guidebook for the rituals, for the priests, how to do the pujas and all. That is given in Yajur Ved. Rig Ved is mostly mantras, hymns, suktas, all the praises which we sing. Sam Ved puts all those mantras into music form. Sam Ved is the basis for Indian classical music. So it gives the chand, it gives the melody, not melody, but it gives the meter and all those things. So Atharva Ved is Ayurveda and all those things come in Atharva Ved. How to protect, how to heal, those kind of things. But Sam Ved, Bhagavan says, I am there. If you want to experience me in any way, go to the Sam Ved. Now you can understand that very easily. Sama means peace, tranquility. From the word Shama, Dhamma. Shama, remember, Shat Sampati. So it is control of the mind, restraining of the mind. When you restrain the mind, when you bring the mind in your control, you experience peace, you experience tranquility. So Samaved is that knowledge which gives you peace of mind. That is why Bhagavan says, I am in that. It puts the mind in Samasthiti. Samasthiti. When Arjun was in the first Adhyay, he was in Vishad. That is Visham. Visham Sthiti. And by 10th Adhyay, he has come into Shama Sthiti. Also, Bhagavan Vishnu has, 1000 names, Sahasranam. One of those names, apparently, is Samaga. Samaga meaning chanter of the Samaved. So when you chant some of the mantras of the Vedas, how do you feel? There is a peace which comes to us. Sometimes even without the Samaved mantra, when we are in bhakti also, there is you feel that energy, right? So that is why Bhagavan is saying, if you want to connect with me, connect through the chanting of verses. And that is why every day we chant the Bhagavad Gita. But as with everything, you have to be sensitive to it. Otherwise it will feel like Kantala. So if you are sensitive to it, you will feel peace, you will feel Shama. And if you are not, you will feel Vishama. So Bhagavan says, I am there, you connect with me, then you will feel good. You don't connect with me, then it's okay. And I don't mind. You can connect with the sun, the moon. You don't have to connect with me through bhakti. But I am there. I am there. Then among the gods, I am Indra. Deva Nam Asmi Vasava. Vasava is another name for Indradev. Now often, you all have asked me this question. I think even Sunit has asked me many times, why Indradev is a god? He is so, angry and ahankari and some,
Indulges in so many pleasures.
Pleasures and all that. So there are two different ways that Indradev was seen in the Vedas and in the Puranas. What Indradev was conceived in the Vedas is very different from because our impression of Indradev is what we have heard from the Puranas, from the Kathas. There the whole concept of Indradev has changed. Now in the Vedas, Indradev was actually a very compassionate protector of mankind. He was very sattvic. And he was considered the highest form of divinity in the Vedas. He used to kill the demons. He was very heroic, like a warrior, heroic warrior. He would give rain, that we also know. And he had the whole cosmic order in his hands, Rit, what we call. Then as time passed, Bhagavan Vishnu and Bhagavan Shiva became more prominent as gods, and Indra's prominence went down. And then with the Purans, Indra ka whole charitra was completely changed, and Bhagavan Vishnu and Bhagavan Shiva were given more importance. So that is why now what our impression is of Indradev is based on the Purans. But Bhagavan is from before the Vedas. So he says, I am that Indra, Vasava. I am that Indra, Vasava. And at that time, Vasava was considered the destroyer of ignorance. He was considered the destroyer of ignorance. So that is why Bhagavan saying, I am that one who destroys your ignorance, agyan. So, in short, whatever is instrumental in destroying your ignorance is a vibhuti of Bhagavan. That way you can take it. Then, third one, Indriyanam Manaschasmi. Indriyanam, among all the sense organs, I am the mind. But the mind is not a sense organ. Then why Bhagavan is saying, I am the mind among the sense organs? Okay. The reason is, without the mind, the sense organs cannot do anything. Sense organs are the only collectors of information. Without the mind there, that collection will have no meaning. So the mind is the one who correlates, you can say, something the eyes saw. Then it will remain something the eyes saw. The ears heard something. The nose smelled something. The mind is what puts all these 5 things together and says, oh, it was a satsang. Right? But without the mind, the indriyas, you would not at all. And I will give you an example. Sometimes we are absent-minded. And see the word absent-minded. At that time, the mind is absent. So this thing is here, but I never saw it. Because your mind did not register that you saw this. So without the mind, the indriyas are useless. Or you are so busy doing something, playing on your phone, someone is calling you, the ears are hearing. But the mind is in your telephone, mobile phone. Did not register, right? So that is why without the mind, the indriyas are useless. So he is in all the indriyanam, I am mana, I am the mind. Okay? Understood? So what you have to do? How will you use this? Connect with your mind. See where is your mind. Become more mindful. Become more mindful. Become more aware. Where is my mind going? And master the mind. You master the mind, you will connect with Bhagavan actually. Actually. Okay. And then the last one for today. I like it a lot. Bhutanam asmi chetana. I am the consciousness, the life energy in all living beings. Already he told us that, no? In the 20th Shloka, I am the universal self seated in all hearts. But Arjun's face must have looked little, really, now how do I use that? Then he gave sun, then he gave moon, then he gave wind, then he gave Samvi, then he gave what? Wind god, then what? Mind, this, that. But want to connect this, that and the other. What's the point? I am that consciousness which is making you alive. He's coming back to that. So he's emphasizing the importance of that very first shloka where he gave his highest manifestation. Coming back to that, I am that very consciousness which enlivens you, which makes you alive, which brings chetana in you, which prevents you from being jad. So now, that is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma, that you have many ways. Nothing is forced down your throat because everyone is different. Everyone's nature is different. Everyone's tendencies are different. Everyone's level of understanding is different. Whatever level of understanding you have, whatever you feel connected to, through every single way, connect with Bhagavan. That is the wake-up call. That is the wake-up call. So bring that awareness into this magic of life. That just imagine, don't you ever imagine, and don't you ever wonder, like, what makes the sun rise? What makes the world go round? How is it possible that we are on the circumference of the world, of the entire planet, like that we are on the, and we don't fall down? What is making the seasons come? What is making the birds wake up and chirp in the morning? What is that intelligence which makes the buds open? It's mind-boggling, literally. It's literally mind-boggling. But then we say, "Theek hai," and we get on with life. You penetrate little bit into this. Okay, penetrate little bit into this. See the wonder. Acha, you are convinced this world is mithya, so forget it. I'm not going to bother with it. But what about me? What is making me wake up in the morning? What is making me go to sleep at night and wake up fresh in the morning? How is it that all my tiredness went away? What makes me remember things? What makes my hand lift up? What is making me speak? Why is this dead man not speaking? What is the difference? These are things which should amaze you. But unfortunately, we get more amazed by the diamonds and by the glitters and glimmers of the world. We get more amazed by film stars and cricket stars and God knows which other stars. And the stars which are there in heaven, that though we have taken it completely for granted. So these verses are poetic. These verses are very deep. They may seem like silly things like the sun and the moon. No, there's a sadhana. There's a sadhana in this. Every vibhuti is an opportunity for sadhana. Every vibhuti here is a way for you to connect to Bhagwan. It's not something light. So connect. Connect. Do it. Because it will give you sukun, if nothing else. It will give you some sama. It will give you some sama. Okay? And if possible, eventually, remember, that is who you are itself. That is who you are itself. That's all. But eventually you'll get that. Please now connect. Okay? Enough for today because there's so much to connect to for 1 week. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Jai Gurudev.